Star Wars games, why do we keep doing this? So in the past couple days, we have had D23, one of the last ditch hopes for any good Star Wars game news for the year, and it sucked. Not only did it suck though, it was probably one of the worst showcasings I've seen from one of these events. Not just for Star Wars games, but pretty much everything else, definitely the films and shows. So in this video, we'll quickly recap the tiny bit of Star Wars game news we got from the event, as well as what we didn't get, and where this leaves Star Wars games going forward, as people are starting to fear the worst for a highly anticipated Star Wars game. Now, apologies if this video is a little bit off. I just moved, so I'm operating off a pretty scuffed setup right now, so if the video quality or the audio quality is a little bit off, just bear with me. Just before we dive into the video though, a quick shout out to our friends at Owner Saber. They've got 20% off on their store for any of their lightsabers, and you will get a free display stand upon purchase to spice up your collection. Also, if you use my code Aussie at checkout, you will get an additional 10% off that 20% as well. So be sure to check them out. Links are all in the description below. Now let's dive into the video. So D23 has wrapped up, and it was incredibly disappointing for Star Wars fans. I was originally going to cover it straight away, but I wanted to see if there was any information in the aftermath considering how it all went down. So that's why this video is coming now as opposed to a couple days ago. But I'm glad that I waited because there have been small tidbits of information here and there that have come out. So D23 is basically Disney's event to showcase all things Star Wars, Marvel, all the big IPs under their umbrella. And predictably for Star Wars fans, it was pretty mid. For Star Wars game fans, on the other hand, it was an absolute shambles. Not only did we not see anything for any upcoming Star Wars game at the event, including Jedi Survivor, which a lot of people thought we were actually going to, what we did get was pretty disappointing. And it's actually starting to raise some issues for previous owners of LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Now, Jedi Survivor was one of the biggest hopes to see at this event. To be honest, I thought most people would have actually expected that it would be a lock at this event because, I mean, what better place to showcase the game than this? Also, many industry insiders were leading people to believe that this was the event perfect for the reveal, but not only was Survivor not at the event, it was limited to like 3 seconds of airtime on a new sizzle reel using trailer footage that we'd already seen. So absolutely nothing came out of the event for Jedi Survivor, nothing for Star Wars Eclipse, the KOTOR remake, any Star Wars game that is upcoming. We heard absolutely zero. The only Star Wars game that we did hear something about was one that came out nearly 6 months ago. That of course being LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Because it's not quite done yet. In the only glimmer of anything Star Wars games, we found out that LEGO Star Wars will have a Galactic Edition, which is going to bring new character packs to the game. These will include Andor, LEGO Star Wars Summer Vacation TV Special, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Book of Boba Fett, Rebels, and Clone Wars. So this will tally up 30 new playable characters to the game, which is pretty cool, but in terms of genuine content additions to the game, there isn't really anything. It's basically just the cosmetics, which is fine. You know, this game was never supposed to have post-launch content, so this is a bonus in reality. But I think the thing people are taking issue with is that this was the only thing Star Wars game fans got in this event, and it was for cosmetics coming out on a game that is nearly 6 months old. So it's understandable as to why fans are a little frustrated. There was no look at anything going forward. The event overall was pretty mid. The like to dislike ratio on YouTube was pretty telling, but the event for Star Wars game fans itself was a massive, massive L. Now, it's worth noting that if you owned the deluxe edition of LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, you may have to fork more money out for the Galactic Edition or other character packs if you do want to get your hands on the cosmetics that they're adding. And the Galactic Edition will be dropping November 1st, so if you do want to pick it up, be sure to mark that date in your calendar. So this was basically the last major event that I think we realistically could be seeing for any massive reveals or announcements for Star Wars games this year. We're entering that time in the gaming calendar where games are coming out. Predictably for Star Wars fans, we basically have to watch everyone else have their games come out and we just have to sit around and do nothing. Which has been the case for pretty much nearly 3 years now. Survivor, hopefully, is only about 6 months away, but at the rate of disappointment Star Wars fans continue to get hit with, who knows if that's even going to happen at this point. Now, sorry if I'm coming off as a bit of a downer in this video, I don't really mean to, but we've been in limbo for Star Wars games for nearly 3 years now, and every time it looks like it's turned around, something disappointing happens. And obviously covering every single step of that journey on YouTube over the past 3 years, hoping that things finally come good, yeah, it does get a little frustrating because we as fans obviously We can't have any fun with Star Wars games, and we've barely been able to for nearly 3 years. And like I said, every time it looks like that there's light at the end of the tunnel, it just seems to get further and further away. But regardless, overall, D23, a very big L for Star Wars game fans. But guys, that's about all I wanted to cover in today's video. I wanted to keep it short, sharp, and sweet again, just in case my audio quality is a little bit off. But I will throw a plug for my second channel into the end of this video. Things have been absolutely popping off over there, and I've been having a lot of fun making content there as well. The most fun I've had making YouTube videos in years, because there's actually things to make content on. Funny how that works. And I will be covering Andor on that channel as well when that drops in a couple weeks. So if you're down to check it out, check the top right corner of this video. But that's going to do it for me today. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.